You can become interior designer without going to uni. Whether you're doing your GCSEs, A-levels, or deciding to change your career, at the end of this video I will tell you 8 steps that will help you become interior designer. If you're new here, my name is Christina and I'm a qualified architectural and interior designer in the UK, but also I established my own NowaArtStudio in London, which allows me to work on both architectural, design and art projects. And whether I was working by myself or within the team, I always delivered exceptional projects to all my clients. I'm making this video today because I also mentor students in London, and I often come across questions such as, how do you become interior designer? What kind of qualifications do you need to become one? How hard the industry is? What kind of salary can I expect? What kind of projects can I work in? What can I expect at the beginning of my career? And what is an ultimate goal of interior designer? Do remember to like this video, subscribe and hit that notification bell. I have a personalized mentorship program and I lead students aside of my professional design and architectural projects. And this is your free session, so show some love in the comments down below. Step number 1, you don't need university, you don't need official qualifications, at least in the UK, but you do need good portfolio, good experience and extensive knowledge. I actually graduated from an architectural course, so if you're in between architecture and interior design and you don't know yet which way to go, I'll definitely say that it's easier to come from architecture to interior design than the other way around. Only because architecture is more technical, although architecture in the UK is not as technical as in many other countries worldwide. But it's still more technical than interior design, and you can definitely pick up more interior design skills down the line, but it's more difficult to pick up technical drawing skills later on after the interior design course. So whether you're still deciding or you want to change career, it's good to test the industry or at least have an idea of what kind of projects you like and you think you would be good in. Obviously, if you're not going to university, it means you have to create your own portfolio by yourself. And there's another video coming of me showcasing my university portfolio, which means I can give you some tips and tricks of how to prepare your portfolio and what kind of information you need to include in there to get into the field. I actually went to university and studied for so many years, but I can definitely tell you that everything that I did on the course, I could have definitely done without the course. Because the primary aim of university is to teach you how to be independent. Yes, you do have tutorials and you do have tutors that guide you, but no one's gonna sit there next to you and make sure you produce work. That's your responsibility. You can be involved in any type of project: residential, educational, commercial, hospitality, which is hotels, offices, anything you want really. It's also worth doing a research which companies offer perhaps the best salaries and what kind of requirements you need to meet and what kind of portfolios you need to present to the people in the company they want to work with in order for them to hire you. So if you know that the company that you want to work for works mainly on large-scale educational projects, make sure you prepare your portfolio for that particular industry. So create yourself a brief, create yourself a storyline and come up with a project that would logically explain the way of thinking, functionality, logistics, layout, purpose, and all other functions of the project. But I must say, interior designers will mostly work on residential projects. Only because with residential projects, you have bigger budgets, you have private clients, hence they're more likely to pay more for holistic interior design approach. So when it comes to large-scale projects like universities, schools, hotels, it's not as likely to have interior designers unless it's a very well-established hotel. But again, those hotels will hire the most established interior designers. So my suggestion is to start from residential. Even if it's one room transformation, you can still do it and you can still go into your portfolio and showcase your skills, your drawings, your techniques, your mood boards. And honestly, with smaller residential projects, people don't really care about your education or your qualifications. With interior design, it's all about portfolio, your style and your human approach. Step number 2, portfolio, the main and most important thing in interior design. So please, please, please work on it a little bit and make sure it's super good. If you haven't done any real life projects, include as many drawings, sketches, technical drawings as you can, but also be selective for the work that you include, because often it's better to include one bigger work that you spend more time on rather than a lot of small ones. So if you're designing an imaginative residential project of an apartment, for example, you can start with placing simple cubicles and layout arrangement. And once you have a set of reference pictures, proposals, drawings, design ideas, make sure to put it together into beautiful, cohesive presentation. I teach that during my mentorship programs, but you can also find some inspirations and examples online. And also, remember about copyright. We live in this society with social media where you can take a picture and most likely not mention a person that you took the picture from unless it's someone very big. But when it comes to your portfolio, just be on a safe side and make sure you reference a picture and the source you took a picture from. If you need help with portfolio, creating mood boards, creating technical drawings, you can email my studio and I will schedule a consultation. Another topic when it comes to your portfolio are sketches. If you know me, you know I love sketching. I can sketch anywhere, anytime, and I think it's a crucial skill when it comes to creative businesses, creative careers, because quick sketching will help you a lot and will save you a lot of time. I'm gonna show you a few examples of my sketches that I produced for some of my works. Sketch number one and most sophisticated one is, ta-da! That kind of simple technical sketches are so common when it comes to site visits. As a freelance interior designer, I'm usually working on smaller projects, and it's often about renovating kitchens, bathrooms, sometimes all rooms in the house. So just on the side, remember to bring notebook, sketchbook and pen everywhere you go, because you never know when you're gonna need to sketch a quick elevation of a kitchen and kitchen counter in order to prepare some draft quick images and note the scale of the entire kitchen. Another must-have equipment while talking about quick technical drawings is your tape measure. If you become a freelance interior designer, you are not gonna have team from the beginning, so this is your savior. Ta-da! This is literally my number one electronic measuring tape, and it's so useful when I have to measure something by myself or when distances are too high, too long, whatever. So whether you're gonna use sketches in the internal process or you're gonna scan them and include them into presentation for your client, it's good to have the skill. So those are some of my sketches. All these here were scanned step by step and put into a tutorial, which if you would like to have access to, make sure you email me and we can again schedule a tutorial together. Very simple architectural sketch with some landscape, showing levels, all freehand, easy to follow, easy to showcase your skill. Next one is more traditional architecture. This is actually quite cool because often with sketches you kind of want to focus and put more details into some areas and leave some areas more abstract and more linear. Sketch number 3 is again more traditional architecture, a lot of layering, a lot of lines, a lot of different hatches, and it's more architectural than interior design but still showcases your skill. Another example with pen and marker. This is actually architectural project of one practice in Norway. Another one, interior of a car. Next is my sketchbook Romini time. And I have some sketches here of my last project that I did when it was on my last year. We were capturing the most important points which then led us to our site. So that's a Barbican Center, this is Finsbury Health Center. Those are actually some sketches from Mielnikov House in Russia. Quick sketch of the Wall of London, Tower of London, Barbican Center from far. A walkway, another sketch of a reference building that we studied, another sketch from the walk. Those are some sketches regarding my design, some exploded layers and elevations of my structure, some detailed joint drawing and connections. This was my project site next to London Bridge, and I came out with the small architectural structure that would sort of open up the view of 180 into the city. It's actually a composite drawing, which I also teach on my classes, and it's actually very useful during the design process and during presentations. I actually did put this one into my portfolio. Okay, those are some additional interior design views, and later on I think the sketches are not that significant. They just like detailed sketches of the joint for the proposed structure, and here are a few more sketches that I did later on for the actual projects that were built in London, in UK and in Italy in general. Another add-on to your portfolio can be finishes boards, which can be either physical or digital. That showcases your knowledge in materials, joints, fabrics, metal. Step 3, technical drawing. If you're coming from architectural background like I did, it's definitely easier to get a hold on an understanding of the entire process and technical drawing within the shell of the building, but you have to know how to draw plans, sections, elevations, maybe detailed drawings later on down the line. And if you want to go down the route of custom joinery, custom furniture pieces, you should definitely know your joints and your detailed drawings. Otherwise, contractors and builders on site won't be able to build your project. At the beginning, it's more about concept idea and then perhaps simple scale drawings, which do look very good when you take them later on into Photoshop and add floor finishes, colors, furnitures. And later on, you will definitely take your sketch drawings and put them into a Vectorworks program, which is either AutoCAD, Vectorworks or MicroStation. If you're working on a bigger project with bigger amount of contractors, with a bigger team, you will most likely use Revit as well and start actually building, modeling your furniture proposals, your finishes, your flooring in 3D model. Certain architectural companies or architectural studios use certain programs. Learn how to be very good in one program and do a little bit of training in other two. If you work in that program for a year, 2 or 3, you can call yourself a professional and definitely get a raise and get a new position with a much better salary. Step number 4, suppliers and showrooms. As an interior designer or an architect, you need to know as much as you can about your local suppliers, local showrooms, and the materials that you can use that are available out there on the market. It's gonna save a lot of time and money for both you and your client to know which local shops provide certain materials. Good to know people that you can trust and that you know will deliver products on time for your local projects. But also you might work on international projects, like I did recently for a high-end residential project in Italy next to Lake Como. You start with the concept idea and you search for random different materials everywhere online all over the world. Once you more or less confirm the idea and design with the client, then you'll have to find a replacement material in the country that your project is based in. Luckily, we had a lot of beautiful natural finishes like stone, terrazzo, timber, so we could find a lot of that in Italy and the local suppliers, but it is time consuming and it involves a lot of going back and forth and a lot of research and liaising with a lot of different suppliers. So be ready to take a lot of meetings and do a lot of Excel spreadsheets to compare all prices on materials and design option for your client. Step number 5, keep your day job. I know career of interior designer is very tempting, seems like it's very simple, very sophisticated, but it does take some time to learn the skill, to create portfolio. So whether you're studying now, college, university, or whether you're changing your career to interior design, it's important not to get carried away and develop a long-term discipline. We all struggle with that these days, looking at how fast-paced life is. So try to be patient. Sometimes it will be tough, it will be challenging, but that's life. You learn new skills and then you approach a new higher level. Step 6, practice. I'm a firm believer that talent does not exist, and I've been told that since I was a little girl, and I would always go and put my work in. Unfortunately, these days it seems like it's so easy to become a professional and be successful in something, but it actually isn't, because people have more choices, bigger variety, there's social media all over, so everyone can showcase their skills. So I'm gonna let you decide if it's easier these days to be successful, but it's definitely worth remembering that no success comes without hard work. At the end of the day, and I have a proof for that from every single project, every single commission, every single work that I did, that success is when preparation meets opportunity. So yeah, you have to put in work to prepare yourself, your documents, skills, presentation, portfolio, everything. And that brings me to step number 7, networking. Networking is so important and crucial these days. Everyone can come up with a fictional character of themselves, but what really matters is your character and how well you can talk to different personalities, different types of people. Clients will often hire you because of your character. So be positive, go to different networking events, showrooms, and remember to talk about your business and your skill wherever you go. At the end of the day, how are you gonna get a job? How are you gonna get client if people don't know what you're doing and what kind of skill set you have? Each project is a very collaborative experience, so be prepared to contact a lot of different people and meet a lot of different personalities. I'm sure at this stage you have a million questions. Is it too late? Can I be a great interior designer? How successful can I be? What are the chances that I'm gonna go and do a great project and build my portfolio? How big is the competition in interior design? And all those are fair questions, so feel free to drop them below or email me so that we have more of a one-to-one conversation. Step 8, software. I brushed off that topic a little bit when I was talking about technical drawing. I'll say that from my experience, software skills are more important the bigger the company is, because if you're starting your own career or you're working in a small team, 5-10 people, you will often do a little bit of everything. So obviously you're not gonna have a large amount of projects. Hence, you're gonna have to, of course, deal with the technical drawings, plans, sections, elevations, but you will also have to do a lot of other stuff like mood boards, picking materials, going on site, liaising with contractors, with suppliers, with architects. But if you're gonna work for a bigger company and you'll be involved in a bigger project, you will most likely be kept in this one area of technical drawings, only because the project is so big that all your time will be placed into creating those drawings. This is actually quite important as well, because you do have different roles and you have different technical skills, so depending on what you want to do, you're gonna have to choose a type of company that you want to work with. In terms of programs and softwares, for interior designers a must know is Photoshop, Illustrator, maybe, InDesign, definitely, for presentation, layouts, everything. Most likely AutoCAD or Vectorworks. MicroStation, I would say, is not as popular within interior design companies. It's more popular within architectural companies. Test all those free programs and see what kind of layout suits you the most, but also what kind of companies use what kind of softwares. And obviously when it comes to 3D programs, I'd say SketchUp and Revit on a higher level, bigger teams, bigger projects. If you're a freelancer and you have enough projects, enough work to pay a couple £100 a month to someone else that only does SketchUp 3D models, then it's probably worth doing it. If you have any more software or technical drawing questions, make sure you drop me an email and we can definitely discuss that in person. And from our practice, even big architectural practices or interior design practices will use a very professional 3D rendering companies that do only beautiful realistic CGIs, only because making very realistic beautiful views of your interiors or of exteriors of the building, it's a very time-consuming skill and time-consuming job. Now, if you have any questions, if you want to review portfolio, ask any particular advice, or look at the projects that I've done and get more detailed idea of what I've been doing, we can definitely schedule a consultation and make it more clear for you. Finally, remember, it's all about the process. It's definitely not written for everyone to be a #1 worldwide known designer, but it's definitely worth setting your goals high. If you feel lost or depressed, that's fine. Give yourself a day, 2, 3, and that's it. Start sketching, look for tutorials, look for qualifications, start building your portfolio, because at the end of the day, no one's gonna help you but you.